seconds to go. The capture point at except power regulation is still got 2 minutes to go.
Hunter's blind is falling.
Alright, we got
heading over there.
Are you not picking that chat up? No.
No, I'm not. It might be a
Somebody is
reply.
whispering me all the time. Oh, well.
Hunter's blind. Looks like actually it was just resecured. I didn't get over here in time.
Well, anyway, on the south, incoming from Briggs, from the spawn room, they're bringing maxes, but they are kind of going in as a kind of a train, rather than as one kind of punching fist. Although, with the max support, they are literally at the capture point, and most of the consumables, grenades, con grenades, AV grenades, probably being used. Oh, look at that C4, no one used it! Could have killed the max right there.
Connery has really turned it on here. This is the most concurrent offensives we have seen from them all game. Briggs is having to try and stop multiple different things. There is Ixtab power regulations currently going right now. They did manage to stop a con data hub. Connery did save Hunter's blind, but there are lots of things ticking again.
Crucially, and the most crucial thing is that Connery needs to get a base capture, and if they are on the defense rather than the offense, they simply can't start a capture, and we have 17.5 minutes left in this game. They need to save Awful Pit, they need to save Construction Site Beta, they need to save Haid Skydock, although they need to save the South East tab's been saved, and Hunter's blind is lost, and they've got numbers 10 and 4 fingers. So if you're Briggs, I mean, what do you do here? I mean, do you keep the defenses up, or, like, for example, they do have the cap going at Shack Tech Plant. Do you overcommit because all the small outposts will be captured before you can even get there?
I mean, Shack Tech seems to be this thing it's doing exactly what I believe Connery wants to do. It's a thorn in their side. They can't ignore it, and they haven't yet made a full-on play for it. I think that is some part of a platoon's or a single platoon's job. Just, hey, can you get it? Can you get it? Can you get it? I would be, if I were them up there, I would be more worried about trying to get Shack Intel Hub, which of course they can't do without Haid Skydock. So resecuring Haid Skydock and trying to take out the Shack Intel Hub, you're not going to take Shack Tech Plant without air support and at least a platoon of people up there. It's just too easy for Connery to resecure it at this point, and they've proven that they want to keep it. They're not just going to let it go.
Oh, and
the Con Data Hub is back ticking again.
Just saying the Con Data Hub, I'm going to go over there now.
As I said, I saw it was DPSO. I don't know who else was there as well. And Construction Site Beta is also still ticking, and Connery out pops with 90 seconds left at that base.
I'm watching north.
Oh well, I'm sorry for people talking to me. I don't know what's going on, whether or not someone's put me in their whisper list or whatnot, but I'm certainly picking up chatter from some people, and I don't know why. But, the capture point at Can Data Hub, it's firmly in the grasp now of Briggs. They've come in force and they've said, nope, this is ours. But, conversely, they're losing Construction Site Beta. And they're also losing the Awful Pit.
Hunter's blind has Briggs back on it again. I think Connery left too early here. They didn't clear everyone out, and this is definitely on a beacon here, and now they have to come back with a minute remaining and clear Briggs off of this point.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Well,
Connery brings in a...
frustrating now.
This is just Tisha on all call. 15 minutes remaining in this match. 15 minutes remaining.
Coming in from north.
Devil Dogs just did a gal drop onto the point at Hunter's blind. It looks like they can get it back. I don't know if they can hold it. There's a lot of Vaxes outside that haven't managed to make their way back inside yet, so we'll see if they can hold this resecure.
God damn it.
Construction Site Beta looks like it was just resecured by Briggs. And this is, of course, the danger of Hunter's Blind and bases like it. It's ticked down so far, Connery's going to have to leave some people here. They can't just run away. That's exactly what happened last time, and Briggs got on it and would almost cap the base.
Well, Construction Site Beta was saved at the last moment, but Awful Pit, it does not look like it's going to be saved.
I think just as you said that, they got on the point.
Oh, I take that back. With the numbers, they have just come in galore and made a save. The last moment again. So they've made 2 last moment saves. A Can Data Hub, you're right, is ticking down, but they have so many people, they should be able to save that. Skydock's been saved. Gurney Dam is being pushed. Hunter's Blind has been saved. Four Fingers. I tell you what, we're reaching the point of the game where I might just say, everyone get to Gurney Dam. If you can get... It's too early to do that because they're not in that momentum position. If they, for example, were attacking Hatcher Air Station or attacking Norm Ravine Overpass, and it was like a 2-3 minute window they could attack, they could theoretically just put everything they could on Gurney Dam, push that one base flip, because they need that one attack. Mm-hmm. And it looks like they may have... They've left Awful Pit too early. Briggs is beginning to get stretched in all places, and small forces from Connery are staying behind at some of these bases. With 45 seconds to go, they've left too soon on Awful Pit. The beacon's been called in, and a full squad now of, if I can find the outfit, SQL from Connery. Remember again who that is?
That's Solex, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to get the base. Now, they're surrounded by Briggs, and Briggs is maybe coming back, but the fact is... Oh, this is super close. I mean, we're talking... This is like small numbers of like 5-on-5 fighting for a base with 30 seconds to go. Okay, heavy assault with Shackhammer coming in. I think the save has been made, but... Yeah, okay, so another reinforcement for Briggs has come in and made the save, but that was so much closer than it had to be.
Speaking of leaving too early, Connery again left too early at Hunter's Blind. One person got back on the point, or a small squad, and it was never fully resecured. It's 2 minutes again. I'm sure this is the same people. This is a whole squad back on the point. I don't know why Connery keeps on leaving this without it being fully secured, but every time they do, some sneaky light assault just redeploys everyone, and now they're going to have to come back and save Hunter's Blind again with under 2 minutes.
2 minutes is enough, though. It's when you get to that 40-second marker, it's very, very sketchy. And they've got such light forces. I mean, again, if I was the Briggs commander, this is your best bet to win the game. You need to send as many reinforcements as you can to Hunter's Blind, because you are behind by one base.
No, Briggs is ahead by one base.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Aren't they?
They are.
Yes.
Oh wow, well this is actually even worse than I thought for Connery here. Must be looking some more information. So,
I got big stairs.
With that in mind, they need to save Hunter's Blind Connery. Connery also needs to save Gurney Dam, which they're doing. But more importantly, they need to get something like Awful Pit, which they're losing. They're also losing Chak Intel Hub, so Connery is really in it now because they're getting Chak Fusion Lab. That's super important. If they get Chak Fusion Lab, they take the lead. But at the same time, they need to save Intel Hub. That's quite a lot of 2 squads on there. They need to save Hunter's Blind, which they are in the process of doing, but with 50 seconds to go, the Connery force really needs to get to the point. The runtime, there's enough runtime to get there. That's the important thing. And it looks like they're on point here. There's just too many for the NC to kill. They don't have enough ammunition and clips to pull it off. It's normally the big problem.
Connery made another play for Akan Southern Labs. They are still on the point with 2 minutes left, but there is a lot of Briggs currently spawning in. This is such a difficult base to hold with that open cap point.
Well, Chak Fusion's where it's at right now. That's their best bet to win this game. Ooh, what's happening here? Oh, okay. Archangel from Dread. That's the voice I'm hearing. Interesting.
I am at Chak Fusion Lab. Oh, I thought they don't go underground here. 30 seconds remaining, and they are doing a very, very good point hold here at Fusion. Some Briggs just made it into the bottom. They got mowed down.
It's a lot of dead Connery. I mean, they are being pushed on the point. I think it's going to be like a last moment save.
Yeah, this was a last moment save by Briggs. Connery is back at the Awful Pit, trying to get that to go through. They did get kicked off of Southern Labs. Hunter's Blind has been resecured. Hopefully they just a couple of seconds to resecure that point.
So, if we look at the map now, with how much time we got left, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Jack Fusion Collapse has been saved. Jack Intel Hub has also
You got a
been
quantity,
saved
you want me to get
by
it?
the two different factions.
I got it.
Awful Pit is going to be possibly captured with 47 seconds, although they are heavily outnumbered, so you'd have thought Connery would make a save. Sorry, Briggs would make a
How's
save.
it?
And Briggs is on the point. They don't have enough people yet. Oh, okay, they just do now have enough people to start flipping that back. So that is another save of Awful Pit by Briggs.
So we're trying to keep up to date with everything that's going on the map. Still one base in this. A Can Data Hub is ticking down for it, but they're outnumbered, so it's unlikely to get that. A Can Southern Labs has been saved. Gurney Dam is being attacked with slight numbers, so probably Briggs is not going to get that base. Hunter's Blind is being fully saved. Southern Checkpoint, that's never going to go through in the 8 minutes that we've
Said
got
squad
left.
waypoint, right?
Just make
Just
a
this here,
huge
do you see
push
what I
for
asked
one
you?
base.
Archangel, I think, is from Dread, is broadcasting to me, mate.
Who?
Look at your chat and TeamSpeak.
Squad
So
waypoint.
anyway,
right?
Data Hub has been resecured. And it looks like Shack Intel Hub is still falling in favor of Briggs at the moment. That is the one thing that is still going in their favor.
which base was going in their favor?
Shack Intel Hub.
Oh, right. No, that's Briggs is going in their favor, but they're already one base ahead. This is bad
Roger
for
that.
Connery. We're almost at that point where, unless Connery has a hack going on, they're going to lose this game when that 4-minute marker.
We can still win this.
Okay, 60 seconds to go.
Roger.
There is a lot of Briggs on the capture point at Chak Intel Hub. They want this base back, and they've got it pretty well secured. If Connery doesn't save this base, it's going to be a 2-base flip that they need to win the game. And there's a huge force from Briggs. They're trying to seal the deal here on Broken Vale Garrison. That's one of the hardest bases to save, just because of the nature of what the capture point is. Where's the Connery
That's
force?
63.
I don't know. I'm trying to look for them. The only thing I can gather is they're trying to push certain places. They have a cap going on SRP hydroponics now, Ixtab power regulation. They have a very small force on Nason's Defiance.
I just caught the save there. Apologies, looking at the map. Chak Intel
Negative.
Hub just been saved by Connery forces from 12FC, I believe. They might have to stay here a little bit to make sure this save goes through. But it does look like that's under popped, but they were able to force the issue and get the save done. The tech plant doesn't matter, there's not anyone really there. The Awful Pit is going again, but it's 50-50 numbers and it's so exposed, Briggs shouldn't have a difficulty in saving it. And we're looking at the view, it's a lot of things going on. So, capture point
I'm going to Broken Vale.
is in the hands of Connery, but there's a very large reinforcements coming in from Briggs to the south. We just check the minimap, we can see all the blue dots swarming in on that capture point. And with 90 seconds to go, they are not going to probably get the Awful Pit. I think Briggs is going to make a successful save. We can see the R18s moving in, and they're already outside the door with 80 seconds to go, let alone 5. Stalwart defense right in the door's entrance, but finally Briggs makes the move and they're into the capture point. Still not flipping it. Oh, that one engineer turret is beautiful. Unfortunately,
Broken
it's
Vale
going to be
Garrison
picked up.
is down under a minute right now. There is a galaxy of TR trying to do some resecure. This is kind of a redo without the maxes. This is a redo of what Briggs did the capture earlier in the game here, but they do not have the maxes that they did last time. This is going to be much easier to get them off if Connery actually makes a push.
Which they have the max and above. I see that R6K. Who's R6K?
R6K from what server?
Connery.
Oh, that is probably REK, which would be. I don't know who
There's a max on the capture point for 56. He's trying to fight.
4 minutes remaining in the map. 4 minutes.
56 max with double bursters trying to fight a whole bunch of NC on the capture point. What?
So with 4 minutes remaining, only things that are currently capping can cap. And that means Broken Veil, unless it's saved here in the next 5 seconds, can cap.
The point's flipping! It's flipping in the last 4 or 5 seconds! And I think they've just made the save. Jeez, that was close. So, is there any base under contention for Connery?
A con data
power
hub.
regulation, SRP hydroponics. The fact is, they probably have enough time, even if they lose the capture point, to send everybody they have. So a can data hub is going in their favour. Awful Pit is not going to happen. Chak Intel Hub, they need to make a save on Chak Intel Hub right now. So the save on Chak Intel Hub needs to happen, and there are 2 attacks in the south. So can you check Chak Intel Hub for me while I go to the south?
I am up here right now. Connery is at the doors trying to push in. This does not look like it's going to last very long. Connery is almost inside the building at the moment.
So the thing is, does Connery realise that they are 1% behind? Surely they must realise. There are only 2 bases that I can see on this map that there's enough time. They need to save Four Fingers, but they've got all the population. If I am Connery right now, looking at the map and the timers, only thing that matters is either sending everybody you have at a can data hub, or sending everybody to Ixtab power regulation, or everybody to SRP hydroponics. That's all that matters right now, because you can win this if you go there right now. Once we get past the 2-minute marker, however, power regulation and SRP hydroponics are not going to happen, and then data hub becomes the only base that's worth anything.
This, the way this is wound up here at the end, it really played into Briggs' hand. They were able to just defend, and because Connery didn't get any of those bases in the last 15-20 minutes, they now are stuck attacking, and Briggs knows where they have to attack.
Yes, the Broken Veil has been repulsed, and again, I don't think Briggs realises what's going on here, but the only base that has any value right now, and they're reaching that critical point where it's not going to matter. The only base that can go through, the only base that can flip and decide this game right now is a can data hub. This is it. This is the only base. And hopefully, the Briggs and Connery forces realise the importance. Do we want 480 people in this base? Yeah, why not?
The other base that could decide it is Chak Intel Hub, which just got back into NC hands. And it caps in 1:14 seconds, and will make anything else completely...
Well, 1:14 you say? Well, the game's got less time. Ooh, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. So Chak Intel Hub would count if it went through right now. They need 1 second. So Briggs actually has to... They can actually afford not to defend a can data hub if they get Chak Intel. And the fact is, Connery's got the point, but unfortunately it's 1:44. They don't have enough time by 30 seconds. Plus they would need to make a save, and they don't have enough time on Chak Fusion Lab as well. They'd need to make a save at Chak Intel Hub, and they'd need that extra 30 seconds to get the data hub. I think we're going to have to call it now. With 30 seconds to go, Briggs is the winner?
Well, let's wait until Justicia makes his final referee call and counts it down.
The match is almost over.
15 seconds on Chak Intel Hub.
They can take it 1 second before the match ends.
And
match
Chak Intel
end.
Hub.
Match end. Justicia all call match end. The NC took Chak the outposts in time. 1 second remaining. It's the end score is 51 for NC. Briggs against 48 for Connery TR. Briggs has won the match. Congratulations.
That was an absolute nail biter right down to the end.
Maelstrom, you stop the stats for us?
I have indeed.
Excellent. So that was phenomenal. Back and forth the entire time. I'm going to bring up the map timeline just to show you guys how just incredibly insane that was. As we can see on the map timeline, in the beginning both races slowly raised their percentages, but Briggs was always slightly ahead until we got to roughly kind of in the middle. And Briggs, Connery for briefest of moments going to lead, but then Briggs systematically gets 2 small outposts and 1 large outpost. Then we see roughly around the 145 marker that Connery gets back into it. They're in the lead, they're not in the lead, they're in the lead, then they're not in the lead. Then Briggs takes an impressive lead right up to the 225 marker, at least on my clock. That's what his timestamps are. And then as we see right at the end, Connery comes back and claws it down to 1 base, but Briggs takes it to a 2 base lead at the very, very end. So that's very impressive work there by Briggs.
I have had Luya go and try and find our interview people.
And here's an interesting telltale difference of statistics. Roughly 12,100 kills for Connery, right? And only about 11,300 kills for Briggs. So there's a 1,000 kill difference, yet Briggs wins. Is that just playing the point or the objective rather than KDing, or what do you think, Redland?
I think that a lot was made out of KD, our first time showing the stat, and what people forget is KD matters only if you can actually take the points.
So you're lagging a little bit, Redland.
I think the team's lagging. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. Everyone's jumping to the same channels. Right, well, I'll continue to look at the Kildale leaderboards. Why don't you guys get our reps for the 2 servers together so we can have a quick post-game interview?
Can we do an all call, please?
We're just looking at the stats here, and man, look at that. The top 17 places, are all Connery. All of them Connery in the individual stats. And then we start to see some NC numbers from Briggs. Conversely, the top 2 outfits, top outfit was Juggernauts. It depends how many people they had, whether it was more than 12. But we can see that it's Juggernauts, Briggs Air Machine, then you've got the Future Crew, maybe they're playing Air, 12FC. Oh no, some of them were on the ground. We've got some Renegade, Recursion, TXR, and as they move along, just show some of these stats as we scroll down.
Justisha, would you make an all call asking for the reps and force leads to come up to the interview channel, please?
Of course. This is just an all call. Can the reps and force leads only, please come to the interview channel? Thank you.
And the T9 Carve is top dog today, with MSWR in 2nd place. Then comes the Briggs' EM6, followed by the Carnage AR, and then the Anchor. And the Anti-Veer Grenade is in the hefty 6th place, which is roughly where it was last time.
Looks like we have our Connery people. We're just waiting on Briggs to show up here.
Yeah, they're there.
Alright, let's move up and just have a post-game chat.
Briggs into one channel and the
Alright,
TeamSpeak
guys.
kind of died.
Yeah.
All right.
Really close match.
So, congratulations, Briggs, and really well fought, Connery. That was one of the closest, if not the closest match we've ever had in Server Smash. It came absolutely right down to the wire. It was back and forth all the time. I would ask the Briggs guys to not have your people all in one channel. The TeamSpeak is not very happy about that right now. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
But let me just go ahead and ask Briggs first. Briggs, what was that like? Especially your Force Commander. What was that like, being right down to the absolute last second?
Lots of
Take it away,
yelling
Miss.
clutch.
Yep. It was very touch and go. We had to change strategies a couple of times to adjust. And given how close it was, I don't think we can definitively say any one of those was what brought us over the line.
What do you feel that there was a moment where the match really changed? I mean, you know, there were times where you were up and then Connery kept on coming back. Was there ever a moment where you felt secure, or were you constantly having to put out fires?
I think one area that I definitely fell down was not keeping a closer eye on on our base-to-base assaults and then our base-to counter-assaults after a defense. And I think that comes down to more of an outfit and a squad level, though, so that's something we'll need to look at internally.
Connery, what it seemed like you were constantly trying to push, and you kept on switching where you were pushing, first the center, then the north, and the south. What was your strategy from the beginning? Where were you trying to take?
Well, initially we really wanted a con biolab. Like, that was a big go. We wanted to get Gurney Dam. We knew that was a huge defensive point if we were going to be trading off for nascents. And then we knew that Hunters Blind kept opening up 2 lanes for us, so it was definitely a choke point we had to hold. So that being said, the biolab definitely didn't go the way we wanted it to. We managed to trade out for nascents, which was kind of our contingency plan there, which we didn't hold for as long as we were hoping. And then the forces that were down on the south side were just constantly harassing us, and they did an excellent job in not allowing us to push out too much.
Did you,
hang on
sorry.
1 second. This was a big difference between the last match that you did of as far as closeness. Were you right up into the last moment? What was the stress like trying to choose what base to go to? Were you trying to pull everyone together, or were you just telling all platoons to continue pushing their objectives to try and get one of multiple bases?
No, at the very end there, I pretty much did an all call for a con data hub because I knew, we, as you saw on the clock, we were 30 seconds away from that being a different percentage there. So at that point, we were just kind of throwing everything we had while we were sending more of our Spec Ops guys up to the front lines to hold the intel hub for as long as possible, just kind of down to the wire. Like, we knew at that point that no base was going to be capped in less than 4 minutes, so it was kind of throw everything you got and hope for the best. And, Briggs reacted properly, and well done on y'all's part.
So sorry, Miskatan, I cut you off. You had a question you wanted to ask, Connery.
Yeah, we've definitely been a close eye around the southern warp gate, and that was really interesting, intense the whole way through in particular, but I noticed that the numbers stayed fairly steady but slightly increased. Did you have a set forces you had engaged around Hunters Blind and SRP Nanite Relay?
Yeah, we had one platoon in particular who was just doing a phenomenal work down there. I mean, it was constant back and forth, but they were managing to keep the pressure up, and they were managing not only to hold that, but they were our guys who were saving Gurney Dam most of the time too. So to be honest, we had just a very flexible force to where, we had platoons who started in the north who ended in the south and vice versa. We were kind of just reacting accordingly and trying to keep the pressure on all fronts. But Briggs did likewise, and it definitely showed.
Now, the one thing that we never really got to see much of was the air battle. Both of you obviously had air platoons up. I saw from a distance the engagement sometime. Can anyone here speak to what the air engagements were like?
Not really.
I was keeping tabs on it. I was keeping tabs on it where I could, and it was, as far as I can tell, it was dominated by a few major engagements, and both of our air forces took some heavy losses in the air. But as my commander reported to me at about the half an hour remaining mark, it looked like most of the Connery air forces had been drained of resources, and we had superiority from that